live for second and a half time. Last time I deleted it because it was corrupted somehow. I don't know. Anyway, we are pull the chat up. Well, nobody's here yet, but I'm sure you'll watch and replay. We're going to be unboxing one of these figures, probably. I'd like to do two, but I don't have that kind of time. My wife will probably be home in an hour. So we got some time to kill. And I think we're going to go with the one I've been most anticipating. And that is the 212 Attack Battalion Airborne Trooper. Cody, can wait. Because then I'll want to pose him with Rex. And that'll take even more time. So we'll unbox this today. One of the exclusive Airborne Troopers. One of the coolest trooper designs in all of Star Wars, in my opinion. I really was tempted to get the Purge Trooper because, of course, it has the same helmet, but I don't have that much connection to it. And it is like Revenge of the Sith week, right? We've got the Artist Anakin 3.0, the General Grievous release. We got the Obi-Wan announcement this morning. Share my thoughts on that. I just want a clean Obi-Wan. I don't want the dirty Mustafar. I know it's awesome. It is remarkable. And anybody that gets both those figures and poses them up on the platform is going to look incredible. Perfect centerpiece to your display. But for me, I just want a clean Obi-Wan. I want a versatile Obi-Wan. I want one that I could put the robe on, have him, doing other things aside from that scene-specific look. So I think that's going to come to. At this point, I'm playing the long game. If it's not 100% what I want, I'm not going to pick it up because when that figure that is what you want comes out, you'll be, stressing. What am I going to do? Am I going to get both? Am I going to sell one? So we'll wait. We'll play the long game. But it is pretty awesome. And like I said, anybody that gets that, it's going to have an awesome display. 212 Attack Battalion. This is like 6 months in the waiting, dude. Like, this come out in May, and now it's October. And they just came, Cody came, and then the Airborne came like 2 days later. Yeah, I don't know what the holdup is. I know it's like first world problems. Where's my figure? But really, 6 months for 1,500 limited pieces for each of these? Whatever. They're here now, right? That's all that matters. It's really frustrating because I was supposed to get it in like June or July. I wish I picked up that figure, but too many figures dropping. That is a good point, dude. And I don't know that I am gonna be able to sustain buying these clones. I just bought another P2, P1 shiny clone. Well, not recently, but 2 weeks ago. And it was $320. So that is essentially what this costs. That's like retail nowadays plus tax and tariffs and shipping. That plus the other one that I have, I'm all in about $600. I got the first one for like $260, a really good deal. But I just had to have two, man. And I'm an impulse buyer, and like it was just something I always thought about. Like I wanted to because I mean 2 clones goes hard. It's almost better to have none than just have one, right? So I got the 250 first, the 2 white shiny clones, and I think I got to be done with the doubles. I got to be done, double dipping on the clones. They're too expensive and they take up real estate. But yeah, when these came out, I really they get you on that FOMO. They get you on that exclusivity. But I think even if it was a pre-order, I probably would have got it anyway. I don't know. This is one of the coolest trooper designs, and like this and Gree are probably the coolest from Revenge of the Sith. So, and Cody, I kind of just threw it in there because I didn't want to have this and not have Cody. And I always kind of wanted Cody, but the older figure was, at the time when I was looking, was pretty expensive, like $350 to $400. Now, of course, it's, retail. And I heard a lot of stories with the broken shoulder, elbow. I just didn't want to risk it, so I passed. I waited. I guess I'm glad I did. That remains to be seen if it is, a worthy 1.5 or 2.0, whatever. I saw some comparisons that it is a little bit different. Of course, you get the the Phase 1 helmet that I'll probably never use, to be honest, but we do stuff we probably shouldn't do all the time, right? Beautiful. Now, I know there was the announcement, or not the announcement, the tease of the 501st Airborne from Battlefront 2, the video game. I think that will come eventually too. Will I buy it? I want to say no. We always say no, right? And then it shows up and it's real, and our minds change. Probably not, though, to be honest, because I have this, and this is like the canon version. And as cool as the 501st Blue is, I think I could live without it. But for those that, want an airborne trooper, it'd be exciting. There he is, locked down like Fort Knox. Which I think the most exciting part about getting a new figure is taking all the plastic off, but it is kind of the most annoying. You are like, essentially the first person to touch it, first person to pose it. So that is exciting, but it is a pain. So I'll try to make this as bearable as possible for you guys. I know for the longest time, the Sideshow version of this figure was pretty expensive, and that's kind of the same sentiment for all of the Sideshow clones that Hot Toys hasn't touched yet. But to be honest, Hot Toys is slowly chipping away at that, and there's no reason to buy a Sideshow clone for $300 or Hot Toys prices. There is junk. My local comic shop had the Phase 1 5s and Echo, and I was like, cool, can I check those out? Can I open them up? I picked it up. It was legit a rag doll. I mean, pick it up, it's flimsy. I'm like, dude, there's no way. And it was like $500 or something. Get out of here. Give you $250 for both of them. You know what I mean? Here he is. The weathering on this thing, I mean, it's exactly what we saw on screen. The very, I don't want to say unrealistic, but very, you can tell that it was computer generated, right? You can tell that it's very not what you'd see probably in real life, but that gives it its own little character. Now, I did hear somebody say that this little piece of leather here is actually genuine leather. Don't know who said it. It's probably Justin, but take that with a grain of salt. But to be honest with you, it's pretty soft. It doesn't have that plasticky, hard feeling that pleather has. So it may be true. Smell test, can't tell. It just smells like a freaking Hot Toy. Now, I do believe that this probably, what is this? This part up here that sits on the shoulder is probably pleather. Hard to say. Is that even supposed to be there? Does that come off? I don't know. Nope. This thing's strapped down. I'm not going to start prying on nothing. Is it on the box? Is it there on the box? No, it is not. So what is that? You recognize this? I don't know what that is. It's got a leather grain on it, but don't know that it's supposed to be there or not. I'm not going to start peeling nothing apart. I'll second check later. Always just throw this stuff, the plastic, back in the box. Don't throw it away, because if you ever sell something, it could add value. Some of this stuff is easy, to take apart from the joint. Some of it is very frustrating, especially around the ankles here. Look at that wedged in there. There we go. It has been a Revenge of the Sith hot week, that's for sure. Anybody picking up the Grievous? I take it for free, but I'm not spending, what, $450 on it? There's no way. I can't justify that. Grievous is awesome, but I just don't have the love for the character like that. There he is in all his glory. Was it worth the hype? Was it worth the wait? I think so. For me, at least. Sure everything is up to par. Nothing broken. Now it does have the forward and back ratchet, but not the side to side, which is good because the 501st has the ratchets forward and to the side, and I low key hate that. The ratchets forward and back is good, in my opinion. Still don't know what the heck that is. Like I said, I'll have to double check later. We're gonna get him all this stuff out. I don't know if I want to use it. This is the DC-15. This is just the DC-15. There's a DC-15C. I think this is the C for carbine. I think I'm gonna have him rocking the long blaster. I don't have any clones rocking the long blaster, so we'll do that. Stay hydrated. Go through about 12 pack a day. All right. Here's a little satchel. It's wired. That's cool. Put that on later. A little man purse. Nothing wrong with that. Now this is probably going to be a nightmare trying to get this hand on. So we will do something a little different. Something a little lazy. Probably. Pretty lazy. The base. What's your guys' thoughts on unboxings? Me personally, I really only watch an unboxing like once, unless it's a figure I'm super hyped for, or that I'm waiting to get, or that I just want to know more about. I generally watch the first one I see if it interests me. Now, like I said, this really isn't a unboxing and review. This is just me trying to get on here and get comfortable with getting live. I'm kind of awkward. But nice base. If you're into that kind of stuff. Glad they don't have the footprints in it anymore. Crotch grabber is a little different. It's got that curved unboxing. Cool with the figures I want. Yeah, I agree. Some stuff I'm just not have zero interest in. Or like I'll watch a short, like the Figure Hideout, he'll post a short, and that'll be good enough for me. There's just, I got ADHD like real bad, dude. I spend way too much time on YouTube. I mean, not in this context, but just watching stuff. Attention span is like 0. Is the comma wired? No, it's probably just hella starchy, like all of their fabrics are. So what I'm gonna do is probably just get that generic pose off the box, to be honest with you, because I'd have to bust out the hairdryer to swap out the hands, and we're gonna have him gesturing this way. Get this in the hand later. Left leg back. Well, maybe that way around. Then we'll do right leg back. Left leg forward. Slight bend. Outward rotation. This is going to be the most grueling part for you guys, watching me be hella anal about posing this guy. Both of these came in such short interval that they were both sitting on the dining room table at the same time, and my wife, who always gives me a hard time about buying clone troopers, she calls them stormtroopers. She's ignorant, but I love her. Really, another stormtrooper? I'm like, they're not stormtroopers, they're clones, and these are different. So I can't help it. I can't help it. It's like one of my favorite things from Star Wars, and I don't know. You'd probably be a lot better off if you never went down the road of stormtroopers or clone troopers. You'd save a lot of money. is. Is that supposed to be there or not? Looks like it is. Looks like it'd be like, you know, a cushion for your shoulder. But it's bugging me out. That's different. Next on the ratchet, or felt like it was at least. Anybody there? Yeah, the Artisan Anakin. Glad for anybody that got it. I'm just waiting to figure out what they're gonna do, man. I just want a sculpted Anakin with all the bells and whistles that isn't battle damaged or dirty or weathered that I could put with Operation Nightfall, to do on Mustafar. They're really, I don't know why they're trying to give you just so many of the same character. Like I said in the beginning, the Anakin versus Obi-Wan duel on Mustafar is awesome. Like, that is cool. But is that going to be your one episode 3 Obi-Wan Anakin representation? For me, as much as I love Revenge of the Sith, I don't think I can get away with that. I want the versatility, right? That's my big thing. I want to be able to put the robe on and have them doing something else, or even have them, you know, during the Clone Wars maybe, not trying to kill each other. And it, like I said, it is cool, but they're playing games, and I think some people are pretty happy with it. Had a work meeting yesterday, so at the same time as the drop for Anakin, so I wasn't able to get it. Yeah, that sucks, man. There'll probably be another one. I'm just kidding. There's 3 options now, so I assume that one of them will be readily available and maybe affordable. I don't necessarily know which one you want. Japan exclusive, I could care less for, to be honest. The eyes are inaccurate, and it's going to be, you know, hyped up because of the exclusivity to Japan. You could always get the original Artisan Anakin or this new one later on. Like I said, I think the $1,000-$1,200 threshold that we're seeing is done. I think those days are over with. I think honestly, like, these figures are probably going to top out at like $700 nowadays, which is still an exceptional amount of money, but I don't see them hitting the $1,000+ mark once that new one is released. I could be wrong though. Like I said, I don't know everything. The new little sculpted tuft on Anakin or Obi-Wan's hair, or rooted fringe. It's cool in theory, but I don't think it's going to turn out like we expect. I think there's going to be a very hard line between the rooted and the sculpted hair. I don't think it's going to come out like they thought it would. Hopefully it does. I think that's, you know, innovative. That's new, but I don't know. I'd rather just have a swap out piece like Anakin's, you know, just messy hair. I don't know what the price is going to be. I don't know if it's posted on Secret Base yet. I imagine it's not going to be cheap with that display, that stand. Let's see here. The figure is probably going to be upcharged. Anakin's $310. I'd say Obi-Wan's going to be at least $300 as a figure. And then you add the base, that's an extra $75. So $375. Plus, I'd say it's going to be anywhere from $375 to $400. Like I said, it may be up already. I'm wrong, but for the may come as a deluxe option. You may be able to have a, you know, deluxe with or without the base. But my speculation with the little gimmicky rooted bangs, $375 to $400. And that is a lot, especially considering you're going to spend an extra $75-$80. So nearly $500 potentially. Whew. Shit's getting expensive, man. It's getting unjustifiably expensive. You know, I am a lower middle class guy. I would consider myself. I don't make a shit ton of money. Me and my wife, we do pretty well. We're fortunate and thankful. But there's going to come a point in time where this is just too expensive to do, and I'm going to have to cut down or really think about the things in which I really want, and stuff like this is going to be on the chopping block, right? And that's kind of the reason why I didn't get the sculpted cape deluxe for the battle damage Darth Vader, because it was so damn expensive. I think what Dean from Collecting Weekly, shout out to Collecting Weekly, love you boys, said he paid like $510 for that deluxe Darth Vader, and I paid like $450. I'm like, dude, that's a lot of money. It's a lot of money for me, and the entire sculpted cape is a nightmare. So I don't know if it's even worth messing with. Never. All I've heard is bad shit about that cape and that figure, essentially. Let's put that out a little bit. How's that look? Still gotta get him with his gun in his hand and his satchel on. Talking about stance-wise though, is it realistic? I get super anal, guys. That's why I don't ever do this, to be honest with you, because I don't feel like anybody want to watch it. And I gotta set aside time to post figures. Like I said, my wife is getting off work relatively soon, so we're gonna be, let's see, dinner 20 minutes, probably be around an hour. Try not to do this when she's home because we have a different work schedule. So try to value our time together. Or like if she's napping or something, I'll bust a figure out and mess with it. But try to set aside time for this and not take away from other more important time, right? I think that's an important lesson. She just texted me. Well, hope you don't call me. Try to set aside time to not take away from your loved ones or your family or whatever, because there's shit that's more important than playing with these figures, right? Let's see, how's this go? You like my sack of potatoes back here and my apples? You like them apples? Goes over the left shoulder. I don't really know if this is supposed to be there. Do you guys recognize that? Am I tripping? Is that supposed to be there or not? I don't know what it would even be if it's not supposed to be there. But maybe it is sticky. Looks like it's just adhered on there like tape, not any glue. I might have to watch a review on it because I'll break it and then I'll hate the figure forever and myself for breaking it. It's something you do not want to do, is break figures on purpose or due to just being ignorant. Let's see, how the hell is this even going to go? Under the arm. I would imagine. Under the arm, over the head. Oh, there we go. This is wired, by the way, so that's cool. You can have it, you know, realistically draped as it would in universe. Wires are usually always your friend as long as they are good wires. If they're not, they could be worse than no wires. Like that Darth Vader. That cape is ass. I do have a custom Jackson Jew Darth Vader cape. It was like 60 or 65 bucks. I bought it, and I to be honest with you, I don't like it. I don't like that it isn't what I expected it to be. It's like sort of like a Batman cape. Like the outside is felty, and the inside is like a synthetic plastic type material, right? Like a tarpy type material. It's not like what you consider a Darth Vader cape, but I've never used it because of that. So I got half of mine to just take a freaking blowtorch to it and melt it up, make it look like it's been burned, you know, in real life. and use that on my Darth Vader. Because it's not, I mean, yeah, I'd be destroying a $65 cape, but hell, it's not worth nothing if I'm not using it, right? There's always a use for something. That looks pretty hard. That looks pretty badass, if you ask me. I think that looks badass. At least enough for me to have peace of mind, right? What do you think? I don't think it's going nowhere. Move that arm over a little bit if we can. Now we can't. So we'll move the head. Let's move it up. Bend it. And point it down. Here we go, right? What are your guys' pending pre-orders? Do you have anything coming soon? Anything on the way? Anything about to charge? I know a lot of people are still waiting for the Deluxe Wolverine. Thankfully, I was able to avoid that. I do love Hugh Jackman's Wolverine, but I didn't get hit with that FOMO. I didn't get hit with the compulsion to buy it. But I know the Deluxe has been delayed for a lot of people, which sucks. Delays suck. Personally, the only thing that I have pending that has been released is the clean T800. Really deviating from the path. I know. Had to get the brown suit. Man, the brown suit is so cool. In theory, like I said, I'm glad I'm not one that was a diehard X-Men and Wolverine fan, because I just think they could have did better. Was not impressed by it, and I think it was lazy, and that's disrespectful to fans. I think it could have been done better, and I also think should ixnayed the entire silicone upper torso, the battling version or jacket version, whatever the hell they call it. Should have just ixnayed that from existence. I don't think a lot of people are really going to give a shit about that. Yeah, it's cool, but you're not going to pose it. Nobody's going to want to pose it. They'll be scared. Should have done away with that and made the brown suit a wide open pre-order, right? That way they could have actually spent time on it and made it good, as collectors deserve. Because, well, it may be good enough for you, and I hope it is. You know, as a collector, you spent a lot of money on it. You deserve that, but it could have been better. And that's always the worst thing about this stuff, is when you know they could have done better if they'd tried. But I'm happy. Hope you're happy with it. Hope it's coming soon. I know that I saw a few people with it, but I don't know if they bought it overseas or not. I know, I think, Valkyrie, you're in the U.S., if I'm not mistaken, so I know stuff is being delayed. Like I said, hell, these came out in May, and I'm just not getting them. So, but it's weird, because some stuff will be announced or released in Hong Kong, and then like a week later, you're getting hit with the email. In Seattle, awesome. Heard it's a beautiful place up there in Washington. Stuff will release, and then like a week later, it is hitting you. Hey, this is shipping soon. You want to pay it off? That's how it was with the Indiana Jones, Han Solo, which, if I must make a confession, I canceled it. I canceled Han Solo from Return of the Jedi. Why I did that? Money. I was kind of stressing about having to pay for that, pay for the rest of Cody, and pay for the last payment on this. And the fact that it was in stock and I had zero desire to just pay it off and buy it. I was just had on payment plan. And my whole thing was like, if it's there, if it's available, and I'm still not like running to pull the trigger to get it, I'm probably not crazy about it. And I don't have any OT figures aside from Vader right now. I still do have Chewbacca on pre-order, so maybe I'll go backwards when Chewbacca gets here. But excuse me, I do have a pretty significant uh, feeling that they'll give us either a New Hope Han or Return of the Jedi or Empire Han in the near future. And not to say that I would really care for either one over the other. I just, while the head sculpt on the indoor Han isn't bad, and I do love the trench coat look, it's not as good as it could be. And it probably looks good in hand, but I'm just not like 100% sold on it, 100% hyped, and that's sort of a red flag when it comes to collecting. If you're not 100% sold, 100% hyped on something, you feel guilty about buying it or feel guilty about it, being on the way, probably shouldn't have it. Probably shouldn't buy it. So, yeah, I lost the NRD. The first time probably won't be the last, right? But I did cancel that. But as I was alluding to, how's that look, guys? Look pretty cool. Good enough for me to leave alone for a while. And I still got to look up this. Like I said, it looks like pleather. It's got leather grain, but I don't remember. It's not on any of the promotional boxes. And I don't remember anybody seeing it. So I'll have to take another photo. But I digress. As I was alluding to, I did buy the clean T800. Told you one of them figures was going to get me with FOMO. Why I did that? Well, I love Terminator. I'm not a Terminator expert. I love the film, and while I don't think Arnold Schwarzenegger is probably the best person in real life, you can't deny that he's an icon. Terminator 2 is probably his most iconic film. And then, of course, I like to lift weights. So, from a bodybuilding standpoint, Arnold Schwarzenegger is arguably the GOAT, the person that pioneered bodybuilding, which I'm not a bodybuilder, but it all goes hand in hand. So, just as a person, and it's his legacy, I really just wanted it. And why I chose the clean is I really like the look of him from like the first half of the movie. There's nothing more badass than him in that all black leather. I wish I could look that cool in leather. And then, of course, the iconic scene where which we're led to believe he's going after John, but he's actually the good guy. And we all know the hallway scene with the roses. That's just awesome, iconic. Why I chose that one is I like that part of the movie better. I like that look better. And I've been seeing the DX13 for it's been held on this pedestal for years, the entirety that I've been collecting. And I think that if I really had to have the battle damage, which I'll get into why I don't really want it in a little bit, I feel like you could get the new clean T800 and have the DX13 and it'd be okay. I don't think you could do the opposite and get the new battle damage and have the older MMS or the DX10 as your clean. I think those are way obsolete at this point. So that's why I did it. And the reason I didn't want the battle damage is, like I said, I've been hearing about it for years, and I don't want to say it's one of them figures I'm tired of seeing, but I've seen it so much that I don't know. Maybe I'm weird. It's kind of how I feel about. I love The Dark Knight and I love Heath Ledger's Joker. I don't have a whole lot of compulsion to have a figure. I actually had the sculpted newer Dark Knight Joker on pre-order, but when it was delayed, I canceled it. The reason for that was because I kind of just didn't want to try to find a Batman at the time. They were all kind of shitty. You had to do a lot of stuff for the DX19, and I wasn't going to buy the armory and then try to sell the armory parts, or it's just a mess I didn't want to get into. I digress. The reason I don't want the battle damage is because that's when the movie gets sad. That's when he dies, and while it is a bittersweet ending, I don't want to see my hero, if that's the only representation I have, in a beat up battle damage context. That's why I have a clean Vader and a dirty Vader, battle damage Vader. So that's why I chose to clean. And I did run a poll on my channel. I think there was 100 votes, and it was 60% voted battle damage, and then the other maybe 30%. It was definitely a majority for battle damage, but then I put the option of both, and a lot of people chose both, but it's not for me. So that's released. Waiting on that. I've got about half of it put away in my PayPal savings account, so it won't be such an egregious bill. Then, of course, I have the Scorch Xenomorph, Chewbacca, Predator 2.0, and T-800, Predator, Scorch Xenomorph, Chewbacca. I only have 4 pre-orders. Wow. Because these 2 both shipped within a week, and Vader came, what, 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago? So I'm not trying to take on any more pre-orders right now, unless it's like Die Hard something I have to have, which the Anakin, while it is tempting, I'm going to wait because they're going to keep playing games, and I'm not going to pre-order that and then give me something with the robe or the swap out arm, or I'm not playing their games. So I recommend you don't do so too. If you know 100% and that's good enough and that's what you want, that's the Anakin for you. You want the sculpted or the artisan, whatever, by all means. You've made up your mind, do it, pull the trigger. But I haven't made up my mind yet. And like I said, I've got a Dark Side Anakin or Darth Vader in the collection right now, so I'm not hurting by not buying it or rushing to pre-order it. So we shall see. Yeah, this is awesome. Super glad to have it. Run out of room in my display. I know that. This is like, what, 15, 16 or 17 figures now, which it's nothing to gawk at, but it's getting tight in there. So we'll have to find a place for him and Cody. I'll probably put Cody with Rex and maybe him with, probably have Rex in the center and the 212 flanking him. But I like to get all my clones out. I think this is what, 251st. So that's 2, 4 of the clean. Rex, Cody. That's 7 clone troopers I have now. That's like 45% of my collection. That's not good. But I mean, like I said, I love them, dude. So they're awesome. Let me guys. Is this a serviceable pose? Does it look good? I'm happy with it. Looks alright. Woo! Don't do that. Don't do what I did. If you're gonna do that, pull the crotch grabber up. Speaking of near misses, the other day I was rearranging my display, putting the 2. Thanks, man. Appreciate that. I try. I'm not like a professional, but nobody's pose looks worse than your own, right? So, yeah. Anyway, the other day I was rearranging my display, putting my 2 white clones behind my Vader on my top shelf, and like a dumbass, I had Vader sitting on the dining room table. We have 2 cats, but if you guys want a cat or 2 of them, let me know, and they're free to a good home. I'm just kidding, but not a cat guy. Anyway, we have a cat that is always getting on the dining room table, which is disgusting because they go in a litter box and shit, and go and step on their piss and shit in their litter box. But anyway, they get on our dining room table where we often eat, and I had Vader sitting there, which that Darth Vader, as I've mentioned, is like a glorified statue. The angle rotation is so finicky that he has to be on his stand or he'll fall because the boots will just rotate. Anyway, like a dumbass, I had it sitting there on the edge of the dining room table, and I kid you not, if the cat did not go in there and knock it off, bumping into it, I heard a splat. I'm like, there's no way. So I go in there and he's fine. I was worried about it being broke, but nothing was broke. And yeah, there's been some near misses for sure. I'm sure I'm not the only one, especially being as I don't use stands often. Sometimes I do, not all the time. This guy's getting a stand because I don't feel like busting out the blue tack or trying to get it to fit in the collection. So if I'm like don't want to mess with it, I'll just put the stand out, which, like I said, is what I'm doing now. I just don't want that to be too tight on the straps with it being at the back. I don't want to take that and fold it up by him sitting on his own comma. Which these are metal, so that's cool. That's some slack. I'm not worried about it. I try to always be mindful of things that are glued in place. And there's a lot of tension on them. You don't want that glue to break. But surprisingly, my Captain Rex, his ammo pouches have not broke because the not ammo pouches, holsters are glued onto, like, that nylon strap that's glued to his belt. And I've seen Some people break that. Mine haven't broke, but going on Hot Toys glue is terrible. Get that situated a little bit more. Rotate that. That's sitting in there. Alright, I think that's good enough. I think that looks pretty cool. Happy with that for now. Like I said, I'd like to do Cody, but we're pressed for time, and I don't want my wife to interrupt us. How embarrassing would that be? So Cody, I may do privately, or if you guys like this, and we got 4 people in here. Hey, if you're in here, thank you, appreciate it. Probably do privately, or may wait till next week. I don't know. It's nice to pace yourself, right? I think we all get super excited about stuff coming when it gets here, like and then I sometimes dick around and don't open stuff for a couple days. Like I said, all depends on my schedule, work, and all that. I'm not rushing to open anything anymore. Like I said, Cody came Friday, which I work on the weekend, so for the weekends are nothing. Nothing happens. And he came Friday. I didn't mess with him until today. It was not even messing with him all. I was sitting right there. So as long as it's here, it's a sigh of relief, right? Doesn't matter if you open it. But expensive pair of figures right here. What else could you have spent the money on, right? What else could I have bought? I don't know. The money isn't something you worry about once you've already spent it, right? Once you've already spent it and bought a figure, it just goes out of mind. I do have a little tackle box that I put all my accessories in, but I need to get a couple more because honestly they're full. So my wife is going to be kicking my ass when I put this in the closet in her office where my other boxes are. But it's got to go somewhere. I don't feel like messing with it and putting everything away. There really is nothing here. You get 2 blasters, satchel, hands, and the base. Which he's not even in shot. This is the star of the show right here. Sorry about that, guys. But this was $255, which in today's world is not terrible for a Hot Toys figure. They definitely could have screwed you. Hello there. New Mustafar. Yeah, I see you, Sideshow. I'm not buying it. Tell Hot Toys to give us a clean one. Today's world, $255 for a figure is not terrible. All things considered, they could have just said, these guys want this airborne trooper. And they could have charged $285. I think I did buy one other clone trooper that was exclusive. I bought the Umbra Operative ARC Trooper. Fun fact, I did sell that. And I made, I think, $6 or $8 profit. So the guy that bought it paid more than retail, but I didn't make any money on it. That was a little expensive, but it did come with 3 helmets, so that's pretty good value. They could have said, hey, you guys want this? Bet. $285, $295, it would have sold. Cody was a little bit more expensive. I think Cody was like $270, which, I don't know. You're not really changing nothing. You're changing the upper torso armor because on the Cody it has a deeper cut around the armpit like the more modern clones. I think they changed the body because the 1.0 clone body was a little bit smaller. So the armor, like on this figure, sits a little bit lower. On the first Cody, it sits higher, which, in theory, you want it to sit higher because that's more secure and accurate. But, of course, they were 3D modeled suits. There wasn't any person in them. But for $270, I don't know. It's not the most egregious thing I've ever seen, right? But if it was $270 out the door, that'd be a lot different story. But it's never that. It's, add $50. What are we going to do? You guys looking forward to any new movies coming out? Any new shows? I'm going to move this guy before I knock him off. Any new shows? I'm trying to think of anything new in terms of pop culture that I've been consuming. Oh, I have a PlayStation 4. I'm not a video gamer. I abhor video games. There's nothing wrong with video games. I played video games like 7-8 years ago, like Call of Duty a lot. I don't anymore because, like I said, I have a PS4 and I'm not spending PS5 money to never play it. But my local comic shop I go in there and I screw around sometimes. They have a few Hot Toys. Can't think of anything no I want to watch. Yeah, I just finished Alien Earth a few weeks ago. I don't know how I feel about it. I like it and I hate it at the same time. I think it kind of shit the bed at the end. I think it jumped the shark. It is not. Hot take here. My opinion. It's not as bad as Alien Romulus. Alright, Alien Romulus pissed me off. This did not really piss me off. It was just kind of whimsical, right? That's my opinion. Will I see a second season? Sure. I think all the actors did a great job. I think Morrow was probably the most interesting character. I think was it Smee? Smee, one of the kids, phenomenal job. I mean, acted just like a kid, but as an adult. Wendy, she was all right, but it wasn't the most egregious thing I've ever seen. But I don't know, man. Anytime I see something like that, it just makes you want to turn on Alien or Aliens, right? Better stop there though, because if you watch Alien 3, you're gonna get depression. I don't hate Alien 3, but it's not something. It's kind of like watching. There's a lot of movies that you kind of got to be in the mood for, like The Joker, 2018 or 2019, whatever it is. Joaquin Phoenix's Joker film. You don't watch that if you're having a bad day. So, but I do have a deep subconscious nostalgia for Alien 3 because I remember when I was probably 7 or 8 years old, maybe younger, I don't know. My mom had it on VHS, and I think we watched it. Or I remember just seeing the cover and seeing the cool chest burster with the cube, Alien Cubed, 3. I remember just having this deep cut nostalgia. I remember her talking about Sigourney Weaver, and that's, I don't know, man. It's weird shit happens. We just wanted to. Good place to stop, buddy. I do like Prometheus, though. Guilty pleasure. My wife. Better take it back. Okay, love you. Be careful. Do have a deep cut nostalgia for Alien 3. I do like Prometheus and Alien Covenant. Not, of course, in the same context as Alien 1 and 2, but they're not terrible, and I do has a little certain charm to it. I don't know. I guess I'm not as intense about the flaws of the Alien films as I am Star Wars. Star Wars, Disney Star Wars, do not care at all. Hate it. Abhor it. Zero interest. And it's probably to a toxic point, right? Where I'm just like cutting my nose off to spite my face. I don't give a shit about the new Mando and Grogu movie. I think Grogu needs to be purged. I just am so tired of it. So that's why I don't talk about it on my channel. I don't get out of here. I don't talk about it on my channel because it's just negative stuff, and I'm already a negative person. So Star Wars, 6 films, EU. I like the Clone Wars for what it is, but don't really care for Dave Filoni. So I take that with a grain of salt. That's pretty much it for me. But Alien, I'm open to, some stuff. Predator, the same. I would say I like Alien more, but it's kind of hard to look at one without looking at the other. They're very, similar. I really, like I said, I like Alien more, but I think Predator Badlands is going to be. Are you selling some figures? Not at the moment, no. I tossed around the idea of selling my Clone Wars Anakin and Obi-Wan. I really want the Obi-Wan. I like Obi-Wan. I want the representation. I know the Anakin is like dated at this point, and like I said, I'm not the huge fan of the Clone Wars, but that's me being cynical. So until the ideal Obi-Wan comes out that I want, not that new one that was just announced, because I don't like the scene specificity. Like I said, I think I mentioned on Reddit, for the price that those 2 figures are going to cost to have that display, I'd rather spend less than half of it and buy the 112 scale Hasbro set from SDCC just to have that representation, because I don't need it in Hot Toys. I don't need it in 1/6. So until the ideal Obi-Wan comes out that is worthy of me selling my Clone Wars Obi-Wan, I'm going to hold on to Obi-Wan and Anakin. Yeah, so not at the moment, no. Like I said, in the future, I'm going to be expanding my space. So if I got to cram figures in there for a year or whatever, I'll live with it. Because unless I need the money, I'm not going to be selling shit unless I just don't want it, right? Most of my figures now, I adore, and I don't really want to get rid of them. So we'll see. But no, to answer your question, Malekith, I'm not selling nothing right now. What was I saying? Local comic shop. I go in there. They have some Hot Toys. Nothing that I want. Nothing that I can't buy any other time. So I don't even think they're like a Sideshow, affiliate, whatever. It's just, I don't know where he gets this stuff. Maybe he buys it. Maybe he does get it from Sideshow. But nothing that I want that I couldn't buy on my own. So I go in there and I look around, and I've sold a lot of stuff to the guy. I like him. He's a nice guy. But I went in there last time and I was like, I want to buy something, right? I never buy shit. So I was looking and I bought Alien Isolation for PS4. Not a video game guy. Last video game I played was Jedi Survivor, which I did enjoy that. I didn't play it a whole lot. I think I played it for like maybe an hour last week. I'll probably try to play tomorrow. Terrifying, dude. It's like a 10-year-old game, but it's pretty scary. And I won't play it if my wife's not watching. I'm a chicken shit. It is fun. I really enjoy it. So that's new. As per TV shows, I'm really not the TV show guy. It takes a lot for me to want to watch a show. I'm very, like I said, ADHD. It's got to be really good. But the last show we watched was Fall of the House of Usher, which is a Mike Flanagan show on Netflix. Pretty good. He doesn't miss, I don't think. So if you like horror, you like scary stuff, check that out. It's adaptation of Edgar Allan Poe's poems and short stories. Really good. And of course, Haunting a Hill House, Haunting a Blind Manor are really good as well. Those are both by him. But movies, I did, when I bought Alien Isolation, I also bought Terminator 1 and 2 on Blu-ray. So now anytime I want to watch them, I can. I don't have to look for them or whatever. Because that's always how it is, right? You think about, man, I kind of want to watch that. Nowhere. It's nowhere. It's like they know what you want to watch so that you don't, have the access to it. Anyway, I got both of those, both games, and the one game and the 2 DVDs for like $50. And the game was brand new, so it was all right. Yeah. You guys bored to death? Like I said, not a whole lot of chat. The channel just hit 500 subscribers, which my whole approach to YouTube and doing this is I do it. It's cathartic. I don't have a whole lot of friends in real life. I do have friends, but they live not close by. Like they live like an hour plus away, which we talk every day. But just turned 29. All my friends are around the same age. As we get older, start to have families, you grow apart. It's just the way it is. So I don't hang out with my friends a whole lot like I used to a few years ago before I moved to where I live. Because of that, you get lonely, right? You want community. You want a sense of interaction with people have the same interests as you. So when I started the YouTube channel at the time, I was watching a lot of Star Wars Theory, which he has now fell off. In my opinion, he's gone down the rabbit hole of I hate Disney, which I'm glad I don't do that a whole lot anymore. And I wanted to make a YouTube channel talking about Star Wars because at the time I was really passionate about it. So I did, and that was 2 years ago plus now. And now the channel's turned into Hot Toys mainly. Just hit 500 subscribers, a little over now, and it is a big milestone to me. It means a lot to me. So if you're a subscriber and you're watching, you support every week, you mean a lot to me, dude. And if you don't think so, know so, because it's true. Short-term goals. I like to reach a level of monetization. I like to make some kind of money off of this, which I'm like a third of the way in terms of watch hours. That's kind of why I've been laying off the shorts. Need to get to the watch hour threshold to make a little bit of money, which it'd be nice, right? If you're doing something you enjoy doing and you're getting money out of it, even if it's a few bucks, it adds to the incentive, right? That's short-term goals. This will never be a channel where I buy shit just to review it. I don't like doing the whole big YouTuber thing. To me, it's cringe. Hey guys, hit that like button. Make sure you're subscribed. I don't like hearing that shit. I don't know if you do or you don't. I try not to say that in my videos. You know, I say, hope you enjoy the video, because I really do. A lot of that's just rhythm, you know, at this point, like, towards the habit. I don't want to do the old YouTuber shit. It's annoying. To me, I don't like it. So I want to be different than everybody. I want to be, you know, my own person, which I try to be as genuine as I can to you guys, because I hate big. Like, if you got like 10 million subscribers, you're not a real person to me. You're a celebrity. So it's hard to see you with that parasocial relationship we build, right? The relationship we build with people that don't really know us, but we spend a lot of time viewing, so we feel as though we have a connection to them, which in a community such as small as this, you really can build a real relationship. Like, I watch a lot of Collecting Weekly. I enjoy those guys. That's why I watch it, because those guys are the camaraderie. I'm very active in that chat. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button, smash that like button, hit the bell icon. Yeah, I hate it, man. It's so annoying. Like, almost like anytime they say that, I don't do it out of spite. Like, I'm petty, but anyway, I spend a lot of time active in the Collecting Weekly chat. I appreciate those guys too, but just trying to do my own thing, you know. And I feel as though over time, this channel is like 2+ years old, which 500 subscribers in 2 years isn't great, but to me, it's better than nothing, right? I'm happy for it. Like I said, just be yourself. That's all you can be. That's all. It's all you are, you know. If you're not yourself, if you're not a real person, people can see that shit. And me, my whole thing with like content creators and YouTubers is, the more I watch somebody, that parasocial relationship changes, right? Like, there's people that I've watched consistently, and at one point I was like, I'm kind of tired of seeing this person. Not even just, it has nothing to do with Hot Toys, but like, there was a channel I watched, right? He had like 3 different channels, and I was subscribed to all of them, and I just got tired of seeing him. He got too big, you know. He got too airheaded, and I'm not gonna get that way. Which, we're all on the same level here, you know. Just I have a voice because I started a YouTube channel, you know. Anyway, that's a big word salad, but trying to get more comfortable with these live streams, because I generally just get on here and ramble. That's what I do anytime I make a video, and I got to cut a lot of shit out. This is all shot on iPhone, and I hope the audio quality is good. Usually I use like a shitty, cheap microphone, but I didn't want to do that because I feel like it may have died through the hour that we've been streaming. I hope you can hear me well. There's nothing really loud in here, but yeah, maybe we'll do this more often. Hope you guys like it. I think I'm gonna hop off here. I got some chores to do. My wife will be home soon, and if I don't start a little laundry, vacuum, I'm gonna get grounded. So appreciate it, Valkyrie. Appreciate you watching, man. I see you all the time. You're a good guy. See you on Ben's stream. Are you on Ben Thomas's stream a lot? JMOS, is that new? Hey, don't recognize you. Thank you for watching. If you're a subscriber, it's awesome. If not, hey, I don't blame you. I watch channels I'm not subscribed to. No guilty conscience. But I am going to hop off here, guys. We are just about to the hour mark. Maybe we'll do this again. Maybe I'll hold on to Cody till next week. And we'll do it again. It'll be fun. Like I said, I've opened 2 figures. The more shit you get, the kind of less the hype is there. Like, if I was to get a figure every week, how special would that figure be? If you get a figure every month or every 2 months, it kind of, you know, puts it on a pedestal, makes it a little bit more exciting. So maybe I'll wait. I think I'll do that. Anyway, guys, thanks for watching. Appreciate you guys. Appreciate you, Valkyrie. If you're watching the replay, hope you enjoyed the video. We'll see you guys. Yeah.